Hey everybody, it's Christine, and today is my very first project for Simple Stories as part of their creative team. And I am so excited about this project. It is going to be a new year-long venture for me into a little slightly different style of scrapbooking. Now, if you're like me, you have a lot of stories on your phone, in your camera, that are maybe not getting told or not getting told for a while or sitting in a pile waiting to be told. And you took those pictures for a reason, right? You wanted to remember that moment. I scrapbook a lot, and I still have stories that are not told. And so what I decided to do with this awesome collection, it's called The Best Year Ever, is to use it for the whole year. I am going to create a page each month with some of those pictures that either I don't think I'll get around to telling the story, or that only have like one quick little snippet of life, and I don't really want to do a whole page for them. So what I did for January is I took all my pictures on my phone that I didn't think I would use for a layout anytime soon, and I put them into a folder, and then I printed them off. You can see I switched them to black and white, and I'll talk about why I did that in a little while. And I printed them off in 2x3 size. So they're not huge, small enough that I can create a collage of them. For January, I only had 8 pictures, and maybe other months I'll have more, maybe other months I'll have even less. But what I did is I just kind of laid those all out on white cardstock and figured out how to make them work in a collage that I liked. Then I started pulling out supplies from the collection. I'm going to be specifically working with the collection kit, which includes patterned paper and stickers. I'm also going to use the 6x8 paper pad. I'm going to use the decorative brads. I'm going to use the 4x6 sticker book, the journaling bits and ephemera packs. So lots of different supplies today. And part of the reason I'm using so many supplies is because I want you to see there's a wide variety of options available for you to do this and approach this project. So that piece that you can see right there where I have Hello Winter, that is from the 6x8 paper pad, and I just fussy cut that out. Then I got out my journaling bits package, and I am going to actually use these journaling pieces as a backdrop for my journaling instead of actually journaling on them. And you can look at the picture of the final layout to see what I mean. I ended up just typing up what I wanted to go on those and then cutting them into little pieces and adding them on there. Just a different design technique rather than writing them all in there, as is using those as a background piece, a different design technique. Now, I am working in snowmen in different spots because I'm going to use those to create a visual triangle. As I have a lot of pictures on here, I don't want to go too heavy on my embellishments. I don't want to go too overwhelming on colors. I want to keep things somewhat simple so that all the pictures still get their chance to have their story told and shine. So what you can see right now is that I've got the snowman on the left-hand side and then the snowman on the right-hand side. And I'm going to use that bottom little white space at the bottom of my picture collage to create the last point in my visual triangle. And all of those then will capture the pictures in between them. I also left that white space in there so that I could add a subtitle. Now you can see I changed up my picture collage a little bit from what I originally started with. I cut down a couple of the pictures to be just 2x2 squares in order to make room for that white space there. Now, there are a couple details you're going to notice here. First of all, I've got this January that I'm working with right now. That was one of the cut-apart cards, so it's on the back side of the patterned paper that I'm using for the base here. The front side is a patterned paper, the back side is a cut-apart card sheet. And so rather than leave it in rectangular format, I actually cut around it, and then I am going to pop that up with 3D foam adhesive. I'm also going to bring in some washi tape from the collection, and I'm going to use that as a backdrop for the word January because I just like the pop of color that it adds down there to the bottom. Some of the other elements that are available in this collection that I'm not using today are the chipboard I didn't use any of, and the enamel dots. I didn't use the stamps or the stencils. I do have the stamps and I'm going to be using them throughout the year on these pages, but for today it just didn't work into my design plan. But there's a stencil available as well, which I did not order because I just didn't think I would use that a lot because I'm just not a huge stencil user. All that said, I am curious if anybody else does pages like this, or if you're going to jump in on this with me. I would love to see what you do with it. I am happy to let you go ahead and use this as your sketch if this is a design that you enjoy. But I would love to see what you guys are doing with this collection because I just think it's a really neat way to simplify things a little bit. And I am so excited about it that I'm actually going to have my February layout ready for you maybe even before February is over. So yes, I might have to fudge a little on my dates and put a end of February leap day photo onto March or something, but I want to jump right onto it and get it done at the end of each month rather than let too much time pass, because I do think those moments and memories are fresher in our brains the sooner we do it. So to my cluster down below, I am adding in some stickers from the 4x6 sticker pack. I also, like I said, I have that washi tape. I'm going to add in some decorative brads. Now, why did I opt for the decorative brads today versus the enamel dots? Well, it's really pretty simple. As I looked at the design, I really felt like the decorative brads were the way to go. And I think the reason behind that is that the decorative brads have a metal outline. And I've got a lot of outlines already on this layout between my photo collage and the journaling pieces. There's some outlining going on, and even my January subtitle has some outlining on it. And so it just felt like those really complemented the style of my layout really nicely. I also liked the size of them. It just fit for this layout. And I know that not all the time brads are what we go for first. A lot of times, in fact, we go for enamel dots, but I think they kind of serve two different purposes because they have such a different look to them other than the obvious circular shape. I think they have a different role within these pages. So I was excited to be drawn to them and to have a plan for how to really make them a important piece of my layout. So on this layout, I'm just going to talk about all the different things I have covered on here because I think that's important to note that I was able to cover a lot. I've got a trip to Great Wolf Lodge with my kids. I've got my husband at an Epiphany concert. I've got my kids doing homeschool, making ice cream in a bag. I've got us doing house renovations. We put up a fence. Yes, in January, we put up a fence. We also are renovating our master bathroom. We had friends come to town, so I have a picture with my good friend on there. And I've got a picture from going to a hockey game. So lots of topics covered within there. And that takes me back to why go with black and white. So for me personally, I prefer the uniformity that black and white provides when you have this many pictures of this many different events. If I was photographing all from the same day and we were wearing the same clothes and in the same place and that kind of stuff, it wouldn't matter to me quite as much. But because I was doing so many different topics, I felt like black and white would provide the uniformity that I like for my eye. Now, that said, if you want to print yours all in color, have at it. I really think this is a personal preference thing. But for me, that's what worked. And like I said, I included so many different topics that it doesn't make it look like I have this layout that's about 40,000 different things, even though it is. So that ends up being a really good thing. So you can see I'm putting the finishing touches on everything, and I don't want to ramble on here too much, but I did explain quite a bit to you today. So please holler at me in the comments down below if you have questions. I will link you up to each and every piece available in this collection down below so you can check those out. And like I said, if you start in on doing this, whether you replicate what I did or you do something completely different. I would really enjoy seeing it. So please leave me a comment. Let me know where to find you on Instagram, or you can email me or any of those things, because I do definitely enjoy seeing how you get inspired from these collections as well. If you're new here, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. Please hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. All of those fun things that help make this channel possible and keep it going. And we will see you again in the next couple days with my February layout and even more coming up at the rest of the week. Thanks for being here.